గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ చిల్డ్రన్. 10th క్లాస్లో మనకు సెకండ్ చాప్టర్లో ఉన్నటువంటి కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్ ఆన్సర్స్కి మనం ఆన్సర్ ట్రై చేద్దాము. ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి కొన్ని బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ చేయమని కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇచ్చారు, థర్డ్ క్వశ్చన్ అండ్ ఫోర్త్ క్వశ్చన్లో. సో ఈ రెండు క్వశ్చన్స్లో ఒక్కొక్క దాంట్లో మనకు 3 ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. వీటిని ఎలా బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ చేయాలో మనం నేర్చుకుందాము. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మనకు ఒక ఈక్వేషన్స్ కొన్ని కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. ఈ ఈక్వేషన్స్లో ఫస్ట్ ఈక్వేషన్ sodium hydroxide plus sulfuric acid give rise to sodium sulfate plus water. ఎస్, దీన్ని మనం ఎలా బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ చేయాలి నేర్చుకుందాము. ఓకే, number of sodiums in reactants. How many number of sodiums? 1. How many number of sodiums? 2. How many number of hydrogens? 1 plus 2. Total 3. 3 hydrogens. Okay, 1 plus 2, 3 hydrogens. And how many number of oxygens? 1 plus 4. So total 5 oxygens. Okay, 5 oxygens and 1 sodium and 3 hydrogens. 3 hydrogens. What about in products? 2 sodiums in products and 1 sulfur. Yes, 1 sulfur. In reactants also there is a 1 sulfur. Yes, 1 sulfur. And how many oxygens? Okay, 5 oxygens. Next, how many hydrogens? 2 hydrogens. So 5 oxygens, 1 sodium, 2 sodium, 3 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur, 1 sulfur. So there are we have to balance in this equation because some of atoms are imbalancing. Okay, now we have to balance in the chemical equation. Okay, again I wrote the equation. Okay, sodium hydroxide plus sulfuric acid give rise to sodium sulfate plus water. Okay, now how we balancing this equation? There are 2 sodiums in products but 1 sodium in reactants. So write the coefficient 2 to the NaOH. Okay, now 2 sodiums in reactants and 2 sodiums in products. Okay, sodiums are balanced. Then what about oxygens? 2 oxygens. Yes, 2 oxygens and 2 hydrogens also there. 2 hydrogens also there. Okay, 2 oxygens plus 4 oxygens. Total 6 oxygens. But here in products, so 4 oxygens plus 1 oxygen. How they become to 6 oxygens? Because 6 oxygens in reactants, but there are only 5 oxygens in products. In order to 6 oxygens in products, just we write coefficient 2 to the H2O. Then H2O, that means oxygens becomes to 6 in products also. 4 plus 2. Okay, 4 oxygens here. Okay, 4 oxygens and 2 oxygens here. Total 6 oxygens. Okay, here also 2 oxygens, 4 oxygens. 2 plus 4 oxygens. Okay, 6 oxygens. 6 oxygens in reactants, 6 oxygens in products. Okay, then next we have to balancing a hydrogens. What about hydrogens? 2 hydrogens in reactants and 2 hydrogens in another molecule of the reactants. Total 2 plus 2, 4 hydrogens in reactants. But what about in products? Already there are 4 hydrogens already we made. Okay, yes, in order to balancing the oxygen, we put 2 as a coefficient to water molecule, then 2 oxygens and as well as 4 hydrogens also there in products. Okay, once again we have to check whether all atoms in reactants and products are equal or not. Okay, two hydrogens, sorry, two sodiums, and two oxygens plus four oxygens, 2 plus 4, 6 oxygens in reactants. Okay, 6 oxygens in reactants. Here 4 plus 2, here there are two oxygens. Okay, two oxygens, that's why 4 oxygens and two oxygens. 4 plus 2, 6 oxygens. Products 6 oxygens, and in reactants also 6 oxygens. Okay, next, what about hydrogens? 2 hydrogens and 2 hydrogens. 2 plus 2, 4 hydrogens. In products also there are 4 hydrogens. Okay, then we have to write the we have to balancing the another chemical equation, which is in the textbook, second question. Okay, third bit second question. Yes. What is the second question? Third bit second question. What is the third bit second question? Potassium chlorate. Potassium chlorate decomposed into potassium chloride and oxygen. KClO3 give rise to KCl and O2. So then we have to balancing this equation. How we balancing the equation? Okay, how we balancing the equation? Yes, write the equation. Okay, second one, third bit, B question. Okay, KClO3. KClO3 decomposed into KCl, potassium chloride, and oxygen. Okay, so now we have to balancing the equation. Okay, how many potassiums in reactants? One potassium. And in products also one potassium. How many chlorines? One chlorine in reactants. There are one chlorine in products also. Oxygens, three oxygens in reactants, but two oxygens in products. In order to balancing the oxygens, we have to balancing the another atoms also. If you think, if there is a how we balancing this equation, if you want to make three in products, if you want to make a three oxygens in products, is it possible? No, because already there are two oxygens in products. How we balancing this one? How we balancing? There is no choice to make three oxygens in products. Okay, that's why we have to balancing the oxygen as this. If you write 3 as coefficient to oxygen, then these becomes to totally 3 to the 6 oxygens. Okay, 6 oxygens in products. How we make the 6 oxygens in reactants? How are we making this? Yes, if you write to coefficient 2 to the potassium chloride, then the oxygens 2 3s are 2 3s are 2 3s are 6 oxygens. There are 6 oxygens in uh, reactants. That's why we have to make we have to write the oxygen coefficient 3 to oxygens. Okay, now the number of potassiums and chlorines also changed. How many potassiums now? Two potassiums. Now we have to write the two. And how many chlorines here? There are two chlorines. Now this in these products also there are two chlorines. Okay. Yes, we have to write a pair of this one. Okay. Once KClO3, potassium chlorate decomposed into potassium chloride plus oxygen. What we have to do? Three oxygens in reactants. Now we make a 6 oxygens in products. Now in products there are 6 oxygens. In order to 6 oxygens, that means in order to balancing the oxygen, we write coefficient 2 to the KClO3. Then the oxygens also 6, 2 threes are 6 oxygens. Okay, 6 oxygens. 6 oxygens and 2 chlorine, 2 potassiums here in reactants. Then we have to write the coefficient 2 to the potassiums. And at the same time, chlorines also becomes to 2. Okay, chlorines also becomes to 2 oxygens, 2 chlorines, 2 potassiums, 2 potassiums and 2 chlorines. Yes, this is the balanced equation. Okay, now we have to make balancing the another equation. What is the third one equation? What is the third one? Mercury nitrate plus potassium iodide give rise to mercury iodide and potassium nitrate. In order to balance in the equation, so there are one mercury in reactants, here also one mercury in products. There are two nitrogens in reactants, here also no one nitrogen is there. And 2 threes are 6 oxygens in reactants, here 3 oxygens, 1 potassium and 1 iodine in reactants, here 1 potassium and 2 iodines in products. So in order to balancing the number of atoms in reactants and number of atoms in products, what we have to do, mercury is okay, mercury is balanced, but number of nitrogens and oxygens are not balanced. In reactants there are number of nitrogens. In order to balancing the nitrogens, we write the 2 as the coefficient to potassium nitrate. This 2 is belongs to the whole molecule. That's why there are 2 nitrogens are there in products. Okay, 2 nitrogens and 6 oxygens. So 2 threes are 6 oxygens. So 6 oxygens and 2 nitrogens and 2 potassiums also there. Okay, nitrogens are balanced, but oxygens are here 6 oxygens. So the 3 becomes to 6 oxygens. In order to balancing the oxygens, we write to any number. We have to write any number. No, because already there are 6 oxygens in reactants. Now, okay, nitrogens and oxygens are balanced, but the potassiums in products, they become to 2 potassiums in products. Now, in order to balancing the potassiums, I write the coefficient 2 to potassium iodide. So there are now 2 potassiums in products. Okay, oh sorry, in 2 potassiums in reactants, 2 potassiums, 2 potassiums, so 6 oxygens, 6 oxygens and 2 nitrogens, here also 2 nitrogens. Okay, then what about now, here we write the 2 coefficient, then the number of iodines also changed, the number of iodines here too. In order to balancing the iodine, can we write any number to in products? No, because already 2 iodines in products. 2 iodines, 2 iodines. Okay. Then here is any changes in this reaction? No. One mercury, 2 nitrogens, 2 nitrogens, 6 oxygens, 6 oxygens, 2 potassiums, 2 potassium, 2 iodines, 2 iodines. Now it is balanced. So finally the balanced chemical equation is mercury nitrate plus potassium iodide give rise to potassium nitrate plus mercury iodide. So this is the balanced equation.